My name is Claire Whitman. I'm 30 years old. And I didn't realize my relationship was already breaking, cleanly, silently, until my fiancé looked at me from across our kitchen and said, "You overthink everything. It's exhausting being with someone who actually feels." I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't throw the takeout container I was still holding in my hands. Something inside me just powered down, like a light clicking off in a room no one planned to use anymore. We had been together for 5 years, engaged for 2, a shared apartment in Chicago, a wedding planned for the following summer. Save the dates already mailed, a venue deposit already paid. From the outside, we were solid, reliable. The couple people pointed at and said, "They're going to last." I thought so too. That Tuesday night had started badly. My department was restructuring. New leadership, impossible performance metrics, quiet layoffs, disguised as strategic realignment. I'd spent the whole day absorbing stress that wasn't technically mine, but somehow still landed on my shoulders. I came home carrying takeout and exhaustion, hoping, stupidly, for comfort. He was on the couch, scrolling through his phone. "I think they're setting us up to fail," I said, setting the food down. "The new benchmarks don't account for what we actually do." He replied, eyes still down. "Are you listening?" "Yes, Claire, work is hard. Metrics are unfair. I've heard this before." It stung, but I tried again. "I'm not complaining just to complain. I'm trying to tell you what's happening in my life." That's when he finally looked up. Not concerned, not curious. Just tired. Not long day tired, annoyed tired. "Do you ever think," he said slowly, "that maybe you overthink everything? That it's exhausting being with someone who actually feels?" The words didn't explode. They settled, heavy, permanent. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. "It means you turn everything into an emotional event. Work stress, friend drama, even picking furniture. Everything is a crisis with you. I share things because you're my partner." "Well," he said, already looking back at his phone, "maybe I need someone who doesn't require constant emotional maintenance." That was it. Conversation over. Like he hadn't just reduced my emotional life, my humanity, to a burden. "Noted," I said. And I meant it. From that night on, I stopped sharing. Not dramatically, not obviously. I just withdrew. "How was your day?" "Fine." "What are you thinking about?" "Nothing important." At first, he didn't notice. He was busy. Event planning deadlines, wedding logistics, seating charts and flower colors, and difficult mothers of the bride. He talked, I listened. But I stopped offering myself. And the scariest part? He didn't miss it. That's when I understood something I couldn't unsee. I wasn't too emotional. I was just emotionally alone. And something inside me had already started planning a way out, long before I admitted it to myself. 2 weeks after the night I said "noted," my director asked if I had a few minutes to talk. It was one of those emails that looks casual but never is. Quick sync, translation, something is about to change. I walked into his office with my stomach already tight. The restructuring rumors had been getting louder. Teams merging, roles dissolving, futures being rewritten without warning. "We're moving forward with the reorg," he said, hands folded on the desk. "But there's an opportunity I think you should hear about." I waited. "Our parent company is opening a regional office in Singapore. We need someone to lead the setup. Operations, hiring, systems. 2-year contract, significant pay increase, full autonomy." He paused, watching my face carefully. "I think you'd be perfect for it, Claire." The words landed differently than my fiancé's had weeks earlier. Not dismissive, not minimizing. This was recognition. "When would you need an answer?" I asked. He smiled. "Ideally soon, but I know it's a big decision." It took me about 10 seconds. "I'm interested." The relief on his face surprised me, like he'd been hoping I'd say yes. "We'd need you there by the end of the quarter, 12 weeks. I nodded. "That works." I accepted the offer before I left his office. And I didn't tell my fiancé. Not that night, not the next morning, not the next week. It wasn't spite, not exactly. It was something quieter. I realized, suddenly and with brutal clarity, that he hadn't asked me anything real about my life in months. Not about my stress, not about my goals, not about whether I was okay. So I stopped volunteering. At home, he was deep in wedding mode. His evenings were filled with venue emails and budget spreadsheets. He talked at me about guest counts and menu options. I nodded, asked questions, played my role. But my laptop history started filling with searches for Singapore neighborhoods, visa paperwork, international shipping quotes. He didn't notice. 3 weeks after I accepted the transfer, we went to dinner at his parents' house. His mother spent the entire meal talking about the wedding. We need to lock in the band soon, she said. Prices are going up. We're thinking live music, he added, glancing at me. Claire agrees, right? Whatever you prefer, I said. His father studied me for a moment. You're quiet tonight. Everything okay? I'm just tired, I replied. His mother laughed. Well, don't get too tired. You've got a wedding to plan. My fiancé reached over and squeezed my hand. It was the first time he'd initiated physical affection in weeks. I squeezed back because everyone was watching. On the drive home, he was unusually talkative. My mom's right, he said. We really need to finalize the venue deposit. Sure. He glanced at me at a red light. Are you mad at me about something? No. You've been distant. Have I? Yeah, like you're not really here. I almost laughed. I'm just giving you space, I said. Isn't that what you wanted? He frowned. What are you talking about? You said being with me was exhausting, that I overthink everything. I'm just trying not to be exhausting. Silence. I didn't mean you should shut down completely, he said finally. I'm not shut down, I replied. I'm just not making everything an emotional event anymore. He didn't push it further, but I could tell something had shifted. Good, I thought. Maybe now he'd realize what he'd said. Maybe he'd apologize. He didn't. Instead, I started understanding something else. I was planning a future alone, while standing right next to him. And for the first time, that future didn't scare me. It felt quiet, intentional, like room to breathe. 6 weeks before my departure date, I started packing. Not the kind that leaves open suitcases on the floor or cardboard boxes stacked by the door. This was quieter than that. Strategic. I took a box of books to my office every few days, saying I wanted to declutter. I donated clothes I knew I wouldn't miss, things he liked on me, outfits chosen to fit into a version of myself that had slowly stopped feeling like mine. Sentimental items went into a small storage unit across town, paid for on my lunch break, the key tucked into the side pocket of my work bag. The apartment began to feel different, lighter, less me. He didn't notice. He was consumed by wedding planning, Pinterest boards, spreadsheets, phone calls with vendors. Every night, he sat at the kitchen table scrolling through options, asking questions that felt more like checkboxes than curiosity. What do you think of these centerpieces? They're nice. Just nice? He frowned. You don't care at all, do you? I care about what makes you happy. That's not the same thing. He was right. It wasn't. Because what made me happy hadn't mattered in a long time. I looked at him then, really looked. He wasn't worried about losing me. He was frustrated that I wasn't performing the role he expected anymore. I wasn't a partner. I was a logistical problem. You're right, I said quietly. It's not the same thing. 4 weeks before my flight, I gave notice on the apartment. I called the landlord while sitting in my car during lunch, my hands steady in a way that surprised me. I'll handle the move out, I told him. And if my fiancé calls, please don't mention it. There was a pause. Is everything okay? It will be. He agreed, still confused. I wanted the ending to be clean, undeniable. 3 weeks before departure, my company booked my flight. Thursday evening. I didn't tell his family, didn't tell our friends, didn't correct the wedding rumors still circulating. I was learning something important. I didn't owe everyone access to my leaving, especially the people who hadn't noticed me fading. 2 weeks out, he planned a guy's trip for the weekend I was supposed to leave. The timing was perfect. Then it fell apart. One of his friends canceled, and suddenly the trip was off. He decided to work from home that Friday instead. I adjusted, moved my flight up a day, told my boss I'd work remotely for the last shift. Wednesday night, I finished packing. Everything I owned was either in storage, shipped overseas, or in the 2 suitcases waiting by the door. Thursday morning, he left for the office around 8:30. He kissed my cheek out of habit. I'll be home around 6, he said. Want me to grab dinner? I'm good, I replied. I'll handle it. After he left, I walked through the apartment one last time. It looked staged, neutral, like a model unit. I'd left the furniture. It was mostly his anyway. The dishes, the decorations, the framed photos. Though I'd removed myself from most of them, leaving the empty frames face down on the coffee table. Then I sat at the kitchen counter and wrote the note. I rewrote it 15 times. I didn't want to be cruel, but I refused to be invisible. When I was done, I folded the paper once and placed it beside my keys, and the engagement ring I'd quietly removed from my nightstand drawer. My Uber arrived at noon. I didn't look back when I locked the door. I didn't need to. I was already gone. I landed in Singapore 16 hours after I locked the door behind me for the last time. I didn't turn my phone on during the layover, didn't want to watch the explosion in real time. By the time I finally powered it up, Saturday afternoon, Singapore time, I already knew what I'd find. I wasn't wrong. 127 notifications. Texts, missed calls, voicemails, messages from friends I hadn't spoken to in months, all suddenly invested in my whereabouts. I didn't open anything right away. I unpacked first, took a long shower, let the jet lag pull me into sleep that felt heavier than exhaustion, like my body finally unclenched. When I woke up, I sat on the edge of the bed and started reading. The first messages came Thursday evening. Where are you? This isn't funny. What the hell is this note supposed to mean? Call me right now. Then anger. You're unbelievable. You don't just disappear like this. You're such a coward. Then the realization. 3 months? You planned this for 3 months? How could you not tell me? Around midnight, the tone shifted. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Can we please talk? I love you. By Friday morning, his time, it turned frantic. Everyone's asking what happened. Your mom called me. I told my parents the wedding is postponed. Please just tell me you're safe. The last message came late Friday night. I found your LinkedIn. Singapore. You really left. I didn't respond. Instead, I called my mother. She answered on the first ring. Claire? Her voice was tight. Thank God. He called me crying, saying you vanished. I didn't vanish, I said gently. I left. I'm in Singapore. There was a pause. Singapore? I took a job here. What about the wedding? There isn't one. Another pause, then softer. What happened? I told her the shortened version. The comment, the silence that followed, the realization that I was planning a life with someone who didn't actually want to share one. Oh, honey, she said, why didn't you say something sooner? Because everyone loved us together. Because I thought I was the problem. Because I kept hoping love would eventually sound like effort from both sides. I'll be okay, I said instead. Monday morning, I started work. The office wasn't fully operational yet, just a handful of us laying groundwork, building systems from nothing. It was intense, demanding, perfect. He kept texting. I checked once a day, never replied. Anger, bargaining, apologies, rage again. You don't just get to run away from this. We were supposed to get married. I deserve a conversation. 3 weeks after I left, a message came that felt different. I started therapy. She asked me to write down what I wish I'd done differently. The list is long. I took you for granted. I made you feel like loving me was a burden. I'm sorry. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I typed back. I appreciate you saying that. I hope therapy helps you. Take care of yourself. That was it. When he asked to talk on the phone, I didn't answer. Some conversations only happen after damage, and I was done standing in the wreckage. A month after I left, Singapore stopped feeling temporary. The city began to feel like something I was inside of, not just passing through. Morning walks past glass towers, and street vendors setting up before sunrise. Late nights at the office building, something from nothing. Colleagues who asked how my weekend was and actually waited for the answer. I hadn't realized how rare that had become. He texted less frequently now, no longer daily, usually late at night his time. Do you ever think about me? I canceled the venue, lost the deposit, but whatever. Are you happy there? I ignored most of them. But one night, after a particularly good day, one where I felt competent, steady, and whole, I answered the last question. Yes, I am. That was the moment the messages stopped feeling like guilt and started feeling like closure. 2 months in, my best friend Lauren came to visit. She had a work trip in Hong Kong and extended it for a long weekend in Singapore. This place suits you, she said, leaning on the railing of a rooftop bar, the city glittering below us. You look lighter. I feel lighter, she hesitated. He asked me if I'd seen you. I figured. He wanted me to tell you he's sorry, again. I know, he's told me. She nodded slowly. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. I didn't leave to punish him, I said. I left because I couldn't keep shrinking to be easier to love. A few weeks later, I went on my first date since leaving. Nothing dramatic, no fireworks, just someone kind who asked questions and didn't make me feel like I was taking up too much space. It was refreshing. The last message from my ex came 4 months after I left. I'm moving to Denver. Fresh start. I hope Singapore is everything you wanted. I'm sorry I made you feel like you were too much. You weren't. I just didn't know how to show up. I didn't respond, but I appreciated it. It felt like real accountability. Too late to fix us, but enough to let go without bitterness. My mom asked me once if I regretted how I left. Sometimes, I admitted, it was harsh. But you don't regret leaving? No, because here's what I've learned. Being emotional isn't a flaw. Wanting depth isn't a burden. And love that asks you to dim your light isn't love. It's control disguised as comfort. I didn't lose a fiancé. I reclaimed myself. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like enough.